Okay, we have a little diamond talk with baseball, softball. We have Jonathan Yaun making history out on the golf course. JY in the house for a great interview, but unfortunately,
we're gonna start.
We have
a good mailbag too, by the way. I want to throw it out. We got some good mailbags.
We have some great stuff to talk about, but unfortunately, we have to start with a heartbreaker, and we have a little beef with Lacrosse too that we want to discuss. But we start with a double overtime loss.
Yeah, in the ASUN Championship, 14-13. I'm telling you,
women's
lacrosse. It was right there. It was so close. They had. So, and Joe, as we know, you're the lacrosse broadcaster. Yeah. We lean on you for this stuff.
Self-proclaimed.
I'm the voice of the Bears.
Yeah, the Illinois Rhine Bears. I've listened to some of his broadcasts. Yeah. As Joe said one time, one of his famous lines, he opened the broadcast with, "America loves lacrosse, and lacrosse loves America."
Thank you.
That's always. I want you to know that's always stuck with me. Yeah, that's always stuck with me, Joe. So it was a battle, right? Liberty goes on a run. They led 9-7 at the half. Third quarter, Jacksonville goes on a 5-1 run. Liberty battles back. Some late goals. Cammy Clutch Merkel was incredible.
Clutch Merkel.
4 goals to lead the way for Liberty.
You just got Merkeled.
But here's how it went down. There's like 1.6 seconds or 2 seconds left in the game. We're tied. Yeah. Merkel fouled going to the net. So you get, was it free position?
Yeah. Right at the little right there.
So lets it fly, bing, off the crossbar. You're like an inch or two from, you're celebrating. Yeah. You're going on to the NCAA tournament, first ever championship. Doesn't quite go. Overtime, some chances both ways, doesn't happen. And finally, Jacksonville just sneaks one by. And you fall. So tough. Jacksonville's been the thorn in Liberty's side all along, and they just weren't quite able to get it done.
That being said, I think that Liberty did take a step in the right direction this season, beating them for the first time ever. First ever win over a ranked opponent.
100%. Fourth year in a row that Liberty has been a runner-up to Jacksonville.
Yeah, and it's so annoying.
But this was the most competitive.
Right.
Like they were, and yeah.
It could have obviously, it could have gone either way. But what's even more upsetting about this whole situation is that when the ASUN awards came out, the coach of the year this year. Earlier in the week, yeah. That Jacksonville head coach won coach of the year. This was before the ASUN tournament started.
We beat Jacksonville at their place, and Kelly Nangle gets snubbed for coach of the year.
Get snubbed?
How?
Remember how I took to Twitter for the Covenant?
You did. You might need to do it again.
We might have to go to Twitter.
Take to Twitter for
complete joke. Complete joke.
You know what?
You beat them, you win the whole deal.
Right.
It's not even close.
Is Conference USA
Lacrosse? It sounds like lacrosse is going to be in ASUN for a little bit longer until they find there's no lacrosse in USA.
That's what I thought. Yeah, no men's soccer, no lacrosse.
But tough break.
Annoying.
But
great season, girl.
Great season. Studs. We had Lizzie Ferguson on last week. She was awesome.
What a great.
She played great. I did see at one point late, I think it was at the start of overtime, the center for the draw control call. And I saw her look at that girl deep and say, "I'm looking deep into your soul, and I don't like what I see." I saw her mouth those words.
Is your soul powered by Alcova Mortgage?
She looked at her
because mine is.
I'm powered by Alcova Mortgage. Are you?
Yeah, and she just turned around and walked the other way.
Right.
Oh my gosh! All right, it's a Flame Central podcast. Yeah. It's powered by Alcova Mortgage, and we all know that Joe Jauch is our guy.
Yeah.
Joe Jauch.
Can I just bring up one thing after this loss? Because I started to think about just this year as a whole. And that's a heartbreaker. Is
that in a time of reflection?
I was reflecting.
He's a reflective guy.
It was my moment of meditation I take each day.
Anger management class.
Yeah. And I think this season as a whole could almost be like, you could almost title like the season of what if, or the season of the oh so close. Mm-hmm. Because you go from, think about it, like, lacrosse, you lose to Jacksonville in overtime. We just talked about that. Women's soccer, regular season champs, led late in the ASUN Championship, ended up giving it up, losing in a shootout to FGCU.
Oh, you're talking about all of
Liberty.
All
of Liberty.
That's so true.
Volleyball, regular season champs, lost to FGCU in the ASUN final. Cross country, men and women both finished second. Men's basketball, we know the 1-point loss to Kennesaw State in the championship. Women lost in the championship to FGCU. And now lacrosse. Like, that's what? 6, 7 if you split men's and women's cross country. Programs that were right at the doorstep, right there, and just so close, couldn't quite get it done.
And what New Mexico State did to football.
Well, we don't need to get into that. Now,
signing autographs, Diego.
Yeah. Now, the positive, we're going to talk with a guy who was part of a winning team. Golf won, men to women's indoor track, field hockey won the Big East, swimming won the CCSA. But in the ASUN specifically, man, like this was like you couldn't. It was like you're that close to going out just by putting it on them.
All right, but like Matt just said, there is a team. Liberty Golf has really made a name for itself the past few years, and a main reason why is our next guest, Jonathan Yaun.
JY.
All right, he won the individual title at the ASUN Championship, shooting 18 under par, a score that Matt Warner and Joe Jauch can't even dream of shooting combined.
Why did you have to bring us into it?
Here we are.
Why can't we just celebrate Jonathan Yaun? You have to drag us into it.
Because you know what? Exactly. It makes you look a little bit better if you just put them down a little bit lower.
That's the way Emily lives her life.
Very fair statement.
Jonathan, come here real quick.
Oh, no. Joe, we don't have a lot of camera action right now.
Come here,
Caleb, you might need to get on the wide because he just...
I got it. I'm here, right?
Yep.
I'm getting too steep.
Okay.
Caleb,
right? So I'm here, and then I'm coming down. I'm coming down like this. What do I got to do to get that better?
We gotta get our weight. When we get to the top, we gotta transition, get our weight on our left a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
Let that club shallow out a little bit.
That's
get that shallow. Yep.
That's where I got to get that.
We gotta get
instead
that.
Instead of going here,
oh, yeah.
I got to get shallow here.
So when you get shallow, the cause of that, when you get to that left side, you're gonna go to that left heel. That left wrist is gonna start flexion. You're gonna go in flexion right here.
Exactly.
It's the bow of the wrist.
See that?
And then once the club gets to here, gets that right hip, rotate.
Yeah.
John, I'll let you know something. I'm playing in the member guest here pretty soon.
Oh, you are?
When I win this thing.
A little step forward, Joe.
When we win this thing, I'm going to give you all the credit. It's all about the shallow, baby.
Jonathan, you just send Joe the invoice for that time. I don't know what you charge, but double it. Go ahead and double it, whatever your normal rate is for that.
I went to the range the other day and look at my battle wound.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
I'm gripping.
I do that, too, when I punch a wall.
That comes from the grip. That comes from the grip. Yeah.
Okay. So we're done with the lessons from Jonathan Yaun, but
thank you.
Congratulations. You are just absolutely crushing it. Well, you have been here at Liberty for quite a while, but what is it lately that you just feel that confidence and it's obviously showing on your scorecard?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just very blessed. I have a lot of gratitude to all my teammates and coaches that have supported me throughout my career here at Liberty. I feel like I had a lot of opportunities my past good amount of tournaments to be in position to win. ASUN Conference is one of those that I feel like, going into I'm a top-seeded player, and so I need to really have that mentality of, look, if your game's on, you have a chance to win, and you should believe you can win. So I don't know. I went into it with a lot of confidence. Previous 3 or 4 tournaments, my game's been trending. I've been shooting a lot of rounds under par, rounds in the 60s. So, rounds that I shoot in practice consistently, but it's when you're doing it in tournaments, you're like mentally in the right space, and you're staying one shot at a time, not getting ahead of yourself under pressure. And I felt like the course we were going to go play, it looked like it was going to be pretty easy. The greens were definitely a little slower. Whenever the greens are slow, you can be aggressive and kind of go at the pins and not really be afraid of missing it short-sided because, look, the greens are soft. You can chip it close from anywhere. That was kind of the mentality.
Yeah.
But
all right, so take me to this because you guys, obviously you were the top individual performer at the ASUN Championship. The team won as well. I think was it the second round you guys just went crazy? Was that the one? Like, take me into that. Like, do you realize what's going on? And also tell me this because I heard a interview with you after, and you said the guys you were playing with from other teams, right? You guys kind of had a goal. We want a combined amount of birdies, right?
Yeah.
Like that blows my mind. Because in other sports, you're not like, hey, you and me, we're going to combine for 10 3-pointers today. It doesn't work that way. Like, did you know what was happening and how different is golf that you can do that?
Goes on.
I don't think should say that.
Not that I've ever
I think that's NCAA.
No, but I would say the guys I was playing with, I've known since I was like 12, 13. Okay. We played junior golf together, and he's somebody that I used to play with a lot. So anyways, got paired with him. We were in carts for that day because, I don't know, something happened with weather. I think we needed to, get 36 in, so we got to ride in carts for 36 holes, which is already this is a dream in college golf.
Yeah.
And then secondly, he told me, look, John, he was looking at scores. he looks at scores pretty consistently throughout a tournament. I don't look at scores.
Okay. Oh.
And, I usually don't like to see where I'm at. I just like to play my game, see where it stacks up.
Yeah.
And he just said, look, John, let's go make some birdies. And he's like, our goal is 15 birdies this next 18, you and I. And I was like,
Too easy.
It's like, all right, let's do it. As soon as he said it, birdie, birdie, birdie. And then all of a sudden, the rest is history. But I think there was a stretch where in our group, we were like 11 under par for 3 holes. So that means we had like a couple eagles thrown in there and everyone birdied the whole 3 straight holes. So it was playing easy.
Yeah, you're just feeling it.
We can now call him JY because we're just getting that close.
Yeah.
JY just said the rest is history. Well, it was history because you finished the tournament with the lowest 54-hole total in Liberty Athletics history.
Yeah,
getting it done. Good job. What's the difference for you when you're growing up playing junior golf? I always, you hear people talk about like taking your game from the range onto the course. Well, then there's also the course where you're just playing as a recreational player, and then we're playing actual competitive rounds. What is that? How do you mentally find yourself being able to be comfortable enough from practice golf to actual tournament golf?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's something over time I've started to really like understand more and more when people have asked, but I think it has to do with understanding that when you're playing like in a tournament, you can't add extra like expectation to it. You have to really stay like patient, and it's something that isn't really easy to do when you are competitive and you want to, beat the guy you're playing against. But in reality, the course is what you're really trying to focus on kind of beating. And I think since I've been here at Liberty, I've been able to really like take my mentality off the guys that I'm trying to beat that are better than me. Like I know there's some guys in the field that are good. Like they're gonna, my game doesn't stack up to them like 100%. But I know if I just plug away and play my game plan, which is playing one shot at a time, looking at the course yardage book before we play and looking, okay, the wind's coming out of the right on this hole. So I know I'm gonna have to play it down the right. And then just also like looking, okay, like I need to hit a 3-iron on this hole because I know that, under pressure, like driver up there is very tight. And just looking analytically at like the course itself, that's given me a lot of peace, and I like play freely because I already have done my homework. When I get to the first tee, like I know what I'm gonna do on one. Like I already kind of have a plan. And when I get there, like if the wind completely changes, if like a tornado, hurricane comes in and just throws the course off, then I know.
You play through that? I would hope not.
No,
okay,
but
good,
just
good.
if you get wind that just completely changes, overnight, then you got to change your game plan. But it's about making your tournament experience as less stressful or the least stress you can possibly have, because then it's just kind of putting the rest in God's hands. I've done the work. Now I just got to do my best and let God do the rest.
That's what my problem. I don't have a plan when I go to the course. I have no plan.
When you're in an actual tournament, are you kind of guys more focused on the process of the swinging the club, your mental thoughts of golf, or are you constantly thinking score, score, score?
Yeah. So like for example, like most of the time in college, the courses are very hard. And statistically, like Brooks Koepka even said one time when he was talking with somebody, he's like, hey, like in college golf, my stroke average was much higher. And look, I'm telling you right now, the courses were much more difficult, and the courses were much longer. Courses had the pins, tucked. And he's like, since I've been on tour, like, guys go lower, and it's partially because the course is a little easier. Yeah. But, the conditions are nicer too on tour. But I think also, it's about like looking at it in a perspective of, one shot at a time and realizing, if I get ahead of myself, that's when, things get a little off. But.
All right, so you guys go on now to NCAA regional in Michigan is where you guys are headed. You're saying, give me a little chill up there. First off, does everybody, I saw like Vegas was one site. Is everybody kind of pulling for that? Like, is that where you want to go? And then what do you know about Michigan? You said you've played up there before.
They got nice courses, right?
They got nice courses over there. Vegas, Cali, we're a couple of the places. But yeah, regionals in Michigan, I think, hey, it's Northeast golf, basically, a little more Midwest. But, I mean, it has that same feel, and we're not too far away from there in Virginia. So I think it's one of the closer regionals that host, and we've played against Michigan State a good amount. So I think moving into it, we're a 7th seed, I believe. So we've always been kind of that 4, 5, 6, 7 seed my past 4 years, but we've played like a top 2, top 3 seed when we play, and I think that has to do a lot with just the preparation we usually do going into it, and for some reason our everyone's games just gets hot this time of year. It's always a fun time to play.
Well, was it 10 of 11 years you guys have made an NCAA regional? I think it is, or
yeah. It's gotta be something like that.
This isn't like. You think about, when the team finally breaks through and reaches the postseason like this, sometimes everyone's like, oh, I don't know what to expect. For you guys, this is like, just put it on the calendar before the season. We're going to be busy this week. 100%. Like, it's just like you're not, it's not going to blow you away when you get up there. You're used to it.
No, we're 100% used to it. Yeah, every year we expect to go. We're always inside the top 60, I think it is, to get into regionals every year. I think the past 4 years we've been ranked inside the top 35 going into postseason. So we're definitely trending. I think this year we're ranked right around 39 or 38. It's a little higher, but not too far off. But yeah.
So 2-part question. Do you think right now you're playing the best golf of your life? And if so, what's been the reason? Is there like a change that you've made in your swing, a different club, or what's the reason?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Golf I'm sticking to the same process that got me here. You go through lots of highs and lows in this game. I played the Prestige out in California. I think it was in late February. Just finished the Florida Swing. Game was trending, playing some great golf. Been playing in some tough conditions. We get out there and it was like 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts every day, dust storms. We played through it, and I didn't hit it my best, and my scores went up. And it inflated my stroke average a little bit, and I don't know. I wasn't at a low in my career, but it was definitely like it beat me up. And when I left there, I felt like just tired and didn't have energy, and like kind of was like in my mind, like I don't know if I should, I don't know where to go from here. Like this is about as bad as it gets. And then a week later, we had Canada Q School coming up, and thinking more about pro golf and moving forward in that. And was able to just feel this like peace come over me and like this trust, and like go back to junior golf. Like what gave you that fire that burned inside of you to play the game again? And like when I went there, I just had this sensation of like confidence, and I was like, okay, went with it and ended up winning by 5.
Get out.
And that's how this game works sometimes. But since that win, that's given me the confidence I need to compete at any level in college, because I beat a lot of pros that week who I've looked up to since I was a kid. So, it just goes to show just playing one at a time, but also seeing his face, feeling his presence, and trusting his love out there is something that, I try to really focus on when I'm playing the game.
What's your favorite club?
I like my putter. I think right now, I'm only saying it because, I don't want it to come back and bite me.
Gotta get that short game.
You don't want to talk down.
No, I'm always going to talk good things about my putter.
Yeah, right.
So.
You take care of it, it'll take care of you.
Another thing I don't do.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. What, is that the best part of your two things? Is that the best part of your game, your putting?
I would say, I like to say that, it's something that's really like under pressure. I feel like I make the putts when it matters.
How many putts do you have per?
I'd say anywhere from 29, 30 putts.
Okay.
My ball striking, my driving and ball striking, I'd say is definitely something that's more consistent. Like I'm able to get in play off the tee, hit a lot of greens, and my short game's I probably have the most talent around the greens.
Is it a true statement that chicks dig the long ball?
Would
you say that's true?
JY, you do not have to answer any of those questions.
I think that's a true statement.
I mean, I would say if you can
drive for show, putt for dough.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
I mean, you're gonna make. People are saying nowadays that driving for show actually makes the money. So I'd say,
okay, we gotta adjust that. All right, last thing for me. You're probably not aware of this, but we have the Liberty Athletics golf tournament.
Oh my gosh, is he our?
No, but if you're free that week, we have an extra spot.
Okay.
No, but Joe, Emily, and I are part of a foursome. We're still taking bids for our last spot.
Please come play.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't say who, but we do have a guy that I say gets maybe wrapped up in the moment a little bit too much. Highly emotional, highly competitive. We don't need to name names.
Broke a club or two.
May have snapped his driver in this very tournament a couple years ago. What? Again, we don't need to get into details, but what advice would you give someone that really gets so emotional and competitive on the course? How do you dial it back?
So yeah, it's something I've had to deal with. I mean, I will say I've broken clubs growing up.
See, great.
Really?
I let my golf game define who I was for a long time. But
doesn't define you, Matt.
I would also say it's something that I mean, when you're competitive in any sport, I mean, look, you're gonna do all you can to be competitive and be there to win. I mean, at the same time in golf, I feel like I don't know. I've just learned to stay content and really know what that looks like in the game of golf. And that's what's helped me to really stay patient under pressure. But I mean, I was getting mad yesterday on the practice green. I'm putting and they're not going in, or I'm chipping and they're not quite getting the contact I want. I'm like, oh, like that's frustrating. But then I have to tell myself, look, John, that's not what's going to get you to where you want to go. I mean, you gotta stay patient and let it come to you. I mean, because golf, I feel like you put the work in, it'll come back and the reward will come. But it's something that you also don't want others to like see, because it's not like the best thing. It's not a best look when you're playing.
Wow. But I really liked everything you said up until that point.
Okay, well. Watch this.
Right.
I've had to watch
It's a problem,
this.
and it's not only on the golf course.
Problem.
This is a problem. I haven't put the work in. I play once a year, and I expect to see improvement.
And then he goes out there once a year and thinks that he's gonna like shoot, like even on par.
You know.
I think it's a really cool story. Before we let you go, you need to call Coach and let him know that Jonathan's gonna be a little late to practice. Okay. But I think it's a great story of how you came to Liberty, because Jonathan's from the Florida outside of Orlando area. And I was like, how in the world did you end up at Liberty? And it's a really neat story.
Yeah, so growing up, I always wanted to be a Florida Gator.
Chomp, chomp.
Yeah, chomp, chomp. I still like them a lot. When we go to their tournaments, I think that it's probably one of my favorite ones, just because as a child, that's the one I always wanted to watch. But yeah, actually, when I grew up going to those tournaments, Jeff Thomas and Liberty would always go to that tournament. So I'd see Liberty there. Didn't really know who they were for the first few years going. And then one day found out, I think I was a junior in high school. Florida was kind of getting all their guys already, the 2018 class. So I was like, kind of like under the radar for them. But I started having success and found out, look, you can play D1 golf and, you can compete against the best. But just didn't really know where God was leading us. And we ended up getting a call from Coach, and he gave me an offer, and I was, that was something that I'll never forget. Hadn't really thought about going to Liberty, but we still give him some thought. We didn't really know what we were going to say yet to him. Came on a visit, came to Liberty, and when I first stepped on campus, I felt like the Holy Spirit was just strong here, and the Lord was like, don't put Liberty to the side. It's something I got plans for you here, and went to this welcome center and was able to see what that big sign where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's Liberty. When we saw that, that's when we knew that God's calling us to Liberty for something different.
We're glad he did.
Very nice.
Glad he did.
And now we're hanging championship banners.
If you were on tour today and Joe Jauch was busy like writing mortgages or whatever, who would be your caddy?
Oh man, let's see what Joey's got.
Yeah, all right.
My God.
You're gonna have to tell him pipe down once or twice. Hey, okay, I got this.
You're gonna have to continue doing your homework.
That's gonna look good.
Right as he takes it back.
Get a little more shallow.
Get
a little more shallow.
It would be the worst decision of your life. Awesome. You wanna have him. You have everyone look.
Everyone looks at that camera right there, and you hold up that mug, and you say "Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova, powered by Alcova.
This is Alcova Mortgage.
Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Give him what you got.
Flame Central Oh, whoops.
Take two.
Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova
Mortgage.
Yes. Awesome. Jonathan Yaun, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Good luck in Michigan.
Yes, safe travels. Bring home.
Yeah, bring home some more hardware.
Bring home the hardware. We're it was so great to catch up with you. Thanks again.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
I don't want to stay on this one shot too long, because check out what Joe Jauch has.
I mean, how smooth is that?
That's pretty smooth.
I mean, the ball mark, LU.
Yeah.
LU ball mark right there, baby.
Love how you don't waste any time trying to get fixes to your swing with JY.
Joe seizes the opportunity.
100%. What? When you sent me the text, like, hey, we got JY coming, I said, oh, we're going to get some swing fixes. It's the first thing that went through. Not his championship. Not the Liberty Flames bringing home. It's like, how can we fix Joe Jauch's golf swing? How do we manage Matt Warner's anger?
My name is Joe.
No,
there's a lot.
No, there's a lot.
At both of y'all.
There's a lot.
I have an anger problem. I have a swing problem.
There's a lot that needed fixing.
Here's what I think is so cool about Jonathan and just like getting to know him the last few years. When you first see him, he's like super quiet and reserved, but you saw how he kind of, like he does have fire.
I felt like we connected
That was
there.
your connection.
That was like,
your connection.
We're basically the same.
But did you hear what he said?
He's not.
No, I didn't hear anything after that.
No, you got to listen to him.
After I heard that he did what I did, I was like, great, we're good here.
You know what? He's managed his anger. You know why? Because he puts in the work, Matt Warner.
And if
you can't show up on Tuesday night pickleball and just expect to play great and not throw your racket.
You know what I've always said?
Can't do it.
You know what I've always said?
You're not putting in the work, son.
When you're a natural athlete, you just figure it out. That's always been my mantra.
I'm telling you right now, and this is what happens with Lizzie Ferguson when she looks deep into the soul of her competition. When it breaks them and they get frustrated and they're throwing rackets and they're breaking golf clubs, that fires me up as a competition because you can't show your weakness because then your competition's just going to eat you right up. That's what JY was saying.
Thank you, Emily.
Look at him.
Thank you, Emily. That's a very good athletic mental psychology
I've heard this garbage my entire life.
Let me tell you right now, Flame Central America, there's a difference between hearing and listening.
He ain't listening.
He ain't listening.
I love
but great conversation with him.
I love when Matt throws his paddle.
I know.
I really want to beat him.
Your competition
And I really want to beat him.
Great, or best of luck to Liberty Golf in Michigan. Have a good feeling about this one. I'm really not 100% sure. Like, obviously, Liberty is going to go to nationals because we're just going to speak it into existence. However, if not, I think it's like, what, the top...
Well, you mean of the individual scores? Yeah, I'm not sure how that breaks down. Hopefully, Jonathan would still have a chance if he plays well enough.
We should have asked Todd Wetmore. He like sent us all
the top 5 teams all move on. There's 13, I believe, in the regional. Top 5 move on.
They're going. I know.
But there's a lot. There's a lot of regions that go, right? There's like 60 teams. Is that what he said? 60?
And he's saying that the entire team is playing their best golf. You didn't even give him that mug.
Oh shoot! I'll drop it off.
We'll catch him on the course. Hopefully, he's around for our Liberty Golf tournament. We still don't have a 4th.
Oh no, he's flying out.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
We'll
maybe Jason. Maybe Mr. Cud can come on and join.
The new.
We'll put Cud in Matt's card.
That would be
That would be the best thing that's ever happened to me.
You would not know how to handle it.
We're going to get to mailbag right now before we just touch a little bit on Liberty baseball and softball. Mail time, Matt Warner.
We had a lot of mailbag questions this week.
We don't have time.
We'll burn through them pretty quick.
Get a gorgeous mug.
Mail 1.
First question. Best question, and we need to decide this, Joe. We'll leave it in your hands when we're done. Sure. Your favorite question. All right, this one came from Jackson Perry.
Jackson Perry.
He asks,
I like that name.
Hey guys, I've heard rumblings of football getting some baby blue jerseys. Any truth to that? First off, let me just say this. Even if there was, do you think we're going to break that on the Flame Central podcast?
Well, that would be the place
and jump out in front of like, hey, Coach Chadwell, I know you had this big reveal planned. Gotcha. We're breaking it here. We're not breaking that news. I don't have anything concrete, but I would say this. Everybody else is mixing it in. I think it's only a matter of time before it's some variation.
I think that the rumbling started because, let's wait and release it in the first year of being a part of a conference. I don't know when that's going to be.
No, I haven't heard anything.
No, really.
So it would be cool to mix that in. I don't know that I want a full baby blue. 100%. I would say if you had it as an accent for football, I would be okay with that. You think the full deal?
Let's go.
Here's the thing. That Tar Heel blue is pretty blue.
I know you like it.
I love that Tar Heel blue. So here's the thing. It's like, what do these schools do it for? Like, it increases sales of stuff like 100%. Crazy. So that's one of the reasons
Any of that blue gear, baby blue gear, you can hardly find it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, because honestly, it was Coach Freeze that brought
He kind of really pushed it.
Right. He's like the one who pushed it and brought it in.
And
that's the first time I saw it.
Some of the folks that didn't
then
like
there
it,
were
they
some
couldn't
folks that
say
didn't
anything because it was Coach Freeze. What are you going to say, you know? But
but is Coach Chadwell going to embrace that also?
Would.
Can I tell you? Here's a story.
With the shark tooth necklace and baby blue.
That would be. You did not bring us a shark. You said you were going to bring us shark tooth necklaces.
Wait, did I tell you guys when I got to the altar? Did I not tell you guys the story?
Oh boy.
I get to
Wedding
the altar.
Stories Part 2.
Walking down the sweetest song.
Water drums.
And I stand up there and I look at him and the first thing I said is, "Are you wearing your shark tooth necklace right now? Take that off." He's taking it off at the beginning of the ceremony. I'm like, "You are not having that in our pictures."
That's a shame.
He was wearing a shark tooth necklace at our wedding, like at the altar.
That's why Cut is the man.
I'm like, that is terrible.
That's why Cut is the man.
That's terrible.
All right, that's the first question.
Second question. No, that's it.
Next, this is a series of questions from Tim. Tim sent us a series of questions. Let me just pick some of the best ones. All right, let me touch on this. We've had a lot of people, actually, numerous people in the last week have asked this question, and it's flattering, about Conference USA. What does that mean for us broadcasting games? They all want to know.
Getting to the bottom of this.
They want to know. The fans want to know. And this guy even asks, Tim asks, could we be covering road games in CUSA?
Oh.
Listen, we've made it very clear. We're willing to go anywhere. We're, from sea to shining sea. We'll take this baby on the road.
There is a reason why we're called America's Broadcast Team.
There's a reason we call ourselves America's Broadcast
I'm
Team.
gonna be a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah.
You are really back to the stay-at-home wife thing.
Yeah. But we don't know right now. Basically, the way it works, ESPN, CBS get to pick a slew of games. Apparently, that should be happening some point fairly soon, and then we'll kind of see how it all shakes out. I don't think we'll get to do all of them because some will be nationally televised. But we are more than willing, and we have made that very clear that we're ready.
Hey, man, I have no problem whatsoever. We get a press pass that's season long. Yeah. So when they bring these other guys to come in,
just showing up in the booth.
We're gonna be that guy. We're gonna
show up in the booth.
Hey, I've got my press pass on.
Yeah, what are you
we're
gonna
just stand behind there and just heckle them the whole game.
Right.
How much fun would that be?
That's not accurate.
That's not accurate. That's wrong number. Wrong number.
Yeah, that would be great.
Boy, man, these guys are bad.
So all that to say, we don't really know. He asks another question that Emily, I think you'll like to weigh in on. What was your most meaningful wedding gift?
Oh,
we didn't do gifts.
Good. There you go. That was quick.
That's quick.
That was quick.
Question.
Did I tell you that a couple crashed my reception?
Get out of here.
And not only that, random couple at the resort. She showed up in a white dress. So I'm like, who is this couple? And my photographers are like, we don't know them. Then he proposes to her at my reception.
You got to be kidding
I
me.
swear. I totally forgot this. And I'm like looking back through like videos of the 360 camera we had at the wedding. And I'm like, who is this couple? And then I'm like, this is the couple that got engaged at my reception. I'm like, get out of here.
I respect it because this is a man who saw the situation and said, what I had planned for my proposal was not nearly as good as this. So let me take advantage of the setting.
It's a compliment to your wedding.
Okay.
Right.
It was weird.
Last question from Tim that we will take here. He asked about Liberty Soccer joining the Ohio Valley Conference. Men's soccer is joining that conference. Why is that? Basically, ASUN didn't have men's soccer. He asked about Big East because we have. Listen, I think the Big East would be a great landing spot someday for a lot of teams. Like they have a lot of teams with religious, backgrounds certainly. But right now it's just field hockey there, so that's kind of the way that works. But yeah, we'll see how that all shakes out. All right, last question. This is a good one. This is from Charles. With the move to Conference USA, who do you think will be our rival? Who's going to be the main rival?
I thought we said Western
Kentucky.
You think that's going to be it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, football's going to be Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
I think Liberty and Western Kentucky are going to be the two best teams.
Yeah.
I think.
What about basketball?
So you don't have Kennesaw State this year, but you will the following year.
Yeah. Oh,
I think enough of that familiarity in all sports. I can see Kennesaw. Like in
just
baseball,
being in that Atlanta area.
Basketball, like in some of those sports, and even football, they have been a really good FCS program.
We'll see with
basketball. Are they coming in football?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where Coach K is, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Coach Klanakis.
Klanakis.
Oh, really?
But men's basketball, Abdur Rahim went to USF, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think that familiarity, and there's been a little bit of history now with that program. I could see that developing.
And track, they're always like rivals. They do not like Liberty.
Yeah, they're good. They've really built a good program.
You need a good fight or something.
What question you want to take? Who do you want to send the mug to? Which one did you like?
I like that last question.
The last question?
Yeah,
All right.
Charles.
Charles, I'll be reaching out. I'll be reaching out, Charles.
If you want to win one of these amazing mugs, we pick the best questions. Send in your questions to flamecentral@liberty.edu. If you make the show and you make the cut, Joe will send you one of these amazing mugs. And if you think we look good on this YouTube video, wait till you see this mug. For softball, they swept, the Lady Flames swept Queens
They're in
this
the
past
postseason
weekend.
play now.
Let's go, Dot.
ASUN Championship starts on May 11th in DeLand, Florida.
Softball double bye. Top 2 seeds get a double bye, so their first
it's all
game is
at
the 11th.
one location, right?
Their game is their first game will be the 11th.
The 11th.
Or the 12th? Okay.
The 11th.
Where is it at?
DeLand, Florida.
DeLand, so Stetson's campus. Yeah.
So we also have outdoor track and field championship happening at Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That they leave for that tomorrow. I think it starts Thursday, so we'll have a lot to talk about on next week's podcast. That was outdoor track and field.
Outdoor track and field.
Yep. So
Lance Bingham's about to.
Lance Bingham is known as the Hammer.
Yeah. He is. Okay. Baseball got back to some winning ways this weekend.
Let me tell you.
Much needed.
Let me tell you.
Series win over, I'm sorry, Jacksonville State? Yes.
State.
So they lose. What a roller coaster. They lose the first game 11-4. They win the second game 13-3. And then in the final game, they were down 8-1, I think it was, and then go on an 11-run inning in the sixth. End up winning 18-8. So you had to have it. Now, still, they are in some dicey waters right now because top 8 make it to the postseason. They are tied in a 3-way tie for 8th right now with Kennesaw State, Central Arkansas. Now, I believe Liberty has the tiebreaker with both of those. Yeah, with both of those teams.
So if you want to watch those games, it won't happen.
How much is left?
Only 2 series left. So they go on the road. They play at home against Virginia Tech Wednesday. Come out to that game. It won't be televised, so come out and watch. Then they go at EKU, which is ahead of them in the standings right now. They're 1 game up on Liberty. And then they go, got to take that. And then at home against Bellarmine. Bellarmine is not good. They are second worst team in the conference. You got to take care of that. You go 2 out of 3 on the road, come home and sweep, you're in.
By the way, the Old Dominion game.
Yeah.
That was last week.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what?
Thriller.
It was powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Was it really?
Yes.
No wonder.
Free all the tickets, faculty, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
You, Joe.
Had our booth set up inside the stadium. But Zach Melder.
Oh, Melder was there.
Yeah. Okay. Liberty graduate.
Yes, that's
Liberty graduate. Zach Melder was there. And they had the booth all set up. Tickets for the faculty. Come and enjoy the ball game.
You're
Where would we be?
Yeah, so generous.
Where would we be without Alcova Mortgage? Where are you going to be without it? That's what you need to find out. Joe Jauch is your guy.
Thank you. That's all you say. Just go on the Google machine. It's too easy.
Jauch. J-A-U-C-H.
Yes, thank you.
J-A-U-C-H. All right. Anything else we got, guys, before we let everyone go? Before next week? Again, come back next week.
Busy week on campus. Graduation going on. It's going to be wild.
I think one of the best emails I've ever received is when Liberty told me I had to work from home. I didn't have to ask my supervisor, Matt Warner, can I work from home Thursday, Friday? No, I'm forced to. It's what I do. It's what I do. Summer starts early. All right, for Joe and Matt, this is the most obnoxious noise in the world. I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.
Is that the Star Wars theme?
No, that's the graduation theme.
Oh.